Loading snacks.
What to do, snackers, snackettes, and snack X's? It's your boy Gage. I'm here with Sin. I'm here with Jokes. I'm here with Frosty. It's time for another episode of Spoiler Boys.
Spoiler boys
And girl. That's right. And girl. I feel like if we ever decided to actually take the Spoiler Boys thing to the wrestling ring, Frosty would be our manager. She would just have to walk us down.
Absolutely.
She would walk us down.
Talk
That doesn't mean
shit.
she's not. It doesn't mean she's not fighting, but she is talking shit and getting us into things.
With a red lightsaber.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
no doubt
you can't
about that.
see
Yeah.
you can't see him, but I was like, take your pick. There's a bunch of them hiding back there.
So we are here to spoil episode 7 of The Acolyte, titled Choice. And we talked about it last week. Turns out this week's episode, entire flashback.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The entire episode flashback, which
I expected.
in its state, I'm okay with.
Mm-hmm.
Sin,
Yeah.
wipe that smile off your face and tell me what your grade for this episode is right now.
Probably a 5.
Ooh.
That is uppercuts to the kidneys.
Yeah.
Jokes?
I'm at a 7.
Okay. Frosty, dare I ask?
For Anthony Cunningham,
Mm.
it's a 10.
Right at Cuddy's face. Got to be a 10. I'm at like a 7. I think it's a solid 7. I'll be interested to hear what's dragging Sin down a little bit, other than
Mhm.
being bored, probably. Frosty, I want to start with you because I think that this episode might have been made for you. I do. More than all of the rest of the episodes, if you can believe that. The episode that doesn't have the naked man in the scars is actually not the episode for you, and this one is. I say that because in all of the conversations that we have had about this series since it has started, I don't think we've had an episode of Spoiler Boys where you haven't talked about or shown your direct distaste / distrust for the Jedi. And I think that this episode does probably the best job of like bringing truthfully to light in live action, I'd say for the first time, like where those ideations come from. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. How many times did you speak directly to your screen during this episode?
I don't. I'm
Ever?
like, I don't. Yeah. I'm like a period, like unless it's a movie, I'm so wholeheartedly into the dialogue that I don't want to miss anything. So like I might go, what? Or like be surprised, but it's not like I knew it. The Jedi
Yeah.
are trash, murderers. Get them off my screen. No, I'm just like,
You sit up, sit forward,
and I say, I told you
more
so.
intent. Did you say that much
No.
in this episode? You didn't. Having completed the episode do you feel like where your thoughts were about the Jedi and maybe what they had done or hadn't done, you feel like you were right?
I can't remember where my thoughts were originally with this, but I knew, like, I feel like I knew there was more to what happened between the Jedi and the witches than really was being led on.
Sure.
And I wasn't honestly surprised to learn that, yep, it's absolutely the Jedi that led to this entire coven being slaughtered. Minus one. Two.
Um,
Three.
Interesting choice of words, slaughtered. I would completely disagree. However, we'll semantics again. We'll
Semantics.
get it. Jokes.
Mm-hmm.
A 7. We have not had you on most of these episodes, so we haven't had a chance to really talk to you and kind of get an idea, a foothold of where you are with where the show is. So I'm not surprised by your score at being a 7, but we haven't had a chance to really talk about the show at all. So I do kind of want to spend a little bit of time of kind of getting some feedback from you about where you are on the show as a whole and kind of like where your grades have been for the episodes. I don't need like a episode by episode breakdown, but just like, yeah, just kind of where you are and how that led to you landing on a 7 for this episode.
Yeah, so I think lukewarm, I think is probably where I've been at the whole entire time. I feel like I may feel a little bit better once this is finished. Um, this has been one that it's been a lot more storytelling in, which normally is a good thing. But jumping from obviously current time, we do the flashback to kind of give us the fill in the gaps of the things that we need for it. And I'm not necessarily against doing the flashbacks, filling in those gaps where we need them to be at for it. Um, I feel like pacing is okay. Um, and I don't know if maybe because it was Star Wars and we knew there was going to be Jedi, I don't know if maybe my mentality was taking, oh, there's going to be a lot of action with the Jedi that we're going to see, especially with some of the previews that we saw. Um, and as far as like lightsaber battles, I mean, we've gotten a handful of decent lightsaber showings. I should say
Decent.
Yeah, he did say decent.
Yeah.
decent, but
Wow.
okay, the last one was fire. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody got murked. Ain't nobody.
That's right. Thank you for your correction.
All bets were off. Listen,
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting some people to get murked, and I was like, oh, sorry, Sin. Like when homie got killed, first thing I knew you were probably happy about that.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
didn't
you
see
don't
it
have to
coming.
apologize to him.
Yeah, not at all. I didn't see it coming. I was like, oh, like bet.
But right now, I would say
my favorite thing about Yord's death was that it didn't happen in a Jedi way, in a Star Wars way at all.
Yeah.
It happened in like an action movie kung fu flick way. It was a straight up neck snap. Boy, you don't even like, you're not even worth the force powers.
Yeah.
And I imagine maybe there was some actual force used,
extra
like
strength in there a little bit.
it probably was a little something in there. But just to like kind of get that eyes open, drop to the ground was like, are we not even? Everybody else, I feel like, got a respectable
Jedi
Star Wars death.
Shank with lightsaber, like, oh, okay,
Yeah, that's a Star Wars death. Like that's a you fall in a pit, you get stabbed with a lightsaber, you might get force push over something. Not yours. No, sir.
Nope.
No, sir. We breaking all this. Like, we know how they feel about you. We're gonna let them have it. You know what I mean? Like, it just like again, like in terms of Star Wars, like that's just a thing we don't get. And if you're gonna do it, that's who you do it to, I guess. You know what I mean? So you're at a 7 for this joke. Why a 7?
I thought it was okay. I definitely think the information and everything that we get, finally figuring out exactly what happened in the past during the time to put those pieces of the puzzle place. Like we could clearly tell. Clearly something else happened at that point, and it was just a matter of filling in the gaps for it. So finally giving us that tidbit was a good thing for it. I didn't think there was nothing over the top about this episode. It was straightforward. I guess I don't. Yeah, average. I didn't really get nothing other than just getting more info to fill in the pieces of the puzzle that we need. So
Right.
hopefully, rounding the show out, we'll get like the epic battle climax, whatever you want to call it at that point. But it was just okay.
So, as has been par for the course for me for this show, every time we answer questions, we add new questions.
Mm-hmm.
I think what I like about where we are right now, and the fact that this entire episode was just a straight flashback, is that I have no idea where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
I do not understand, like, you can generally telegraph a Star Wars story from the very beginning. Like, and especially because so often, so much of what we have gotten with Star Wars over the past 25 years has been storytelling that takes place within knowledge of things that we do know,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, we know how it turns out, so to speak. It's all the Titanic. You know the ship is going down. We're telling the stories within, but like, you already know how it ends. And so this is so far removed from those pieces of the Star Wars lore that even though way down the path you know how it ends, I just don't know what they're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably the thing. That's the reason why this can't be a 5 for me like it is for Sin, because I'm just excited about the idea that I don't know what they're doing. Now, they could do something in the final episode where I'm like, well, you chuck that in the, like, that was easy. Like, you know what I mean? But I don't know. And I like that, because even at the end of the last episode, where it kind of felt more definitive, well, clearly Osha's headed to the dark side, and maybe is going to switch, you know what I mean? And I don't know, right? Because this episode, again, also showed me things I've never seen in terms of the Force and utilization of the Force. People were turning into black dust, dog, and that was like, hold on, I don't know what you're up to, but I don't like it.
The Night Sisters have a similar power.
Say again?
The Night Sisters from they have a similar power, but it's green. I was calling these guys the Death Eaters.
The Death Sisters?
They answered to the Death Eaters. They answer to Voldemort.
I like it. That's basically what it. I mean, kind of. I want to talk about.
We didn't really get to see where it went, so it's like, are they using it to travel? What are they doing with it?
It feels like maybe we kind of got to see where it went, though. It's an interesting thing, and I have questions because I don't know what they're doing, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know if they know what they're doing, and I'm not positive if that's good or bad just yet. Sin, at a 5, that's pretty freaking mediocre, and you have not given a grade that low for any of these episodes. What is it about this episode that just isn't clicking for you?
Well, I probably been most anticipated for this episode the most. I like a great build up with mystery and all that kind of stuff. Then you have that pivotal episode that finally goes back and tell you everything, and you get all these twists and turns of how it went down and yada yada. You come out having a whole different perspective and all that kind of stuff. I didn't walk away with that. This pretty much happened kind of like we expected it to happen, on just start to finish, as basic as possible. You know, we've seen whatever his name is, guy, when she got in her head the first time. All right, so we know he saw something inside. We got to see that. Okay, we knew somehow they took over the Wookiees' ability. We knew that was going to happen. That happened. But what's confusing me the most and pissing me off the entire time was this Soul and Osha relationship that was making no sense to me. It still makes no sense to me why he was so hell-bent on her so much. It almost came off like he had lost a kid before and that's what he was connecting to. But no, that's not true because you're a Jedi. You can't have kids and everything. So his whole die hard, we need to get her back, being so rebellious, and we need to get these girls. We need to get this girl. We got to get this girl. It wasn't clicking with me. I'm just looking at him like, why is this so important to you? Nobody here is acting the way you are. Why are you acting so hell-bent on this? I needed an answer for that, and they didn't give it to me. It was driving me absolutely crazy. So between them not answering that for me and, like I said, it just being, to me, just so clean-cut, basic, what we knew was going to happen was going to happen outside the new force powers and stuff like that. It just didn't land for me. I was waiting for this episode, and it didn't land the way that I felt it should have.
It didn't hit the anticipation that you had. It didn't live up to the anticipation or the expectations kind of set up for it.
Yeah.
I dig that. Let's talk about. Go ahead, Frosty.
The Soul, like, not understanding why Soul was so obsessed with bringing Osha to be his Padawan. He had a feeling, like, within the Force that she was meant to be his Padawan, and he was worried for her safety based off of the unfortunate recitation that May made of Mother Anastaea's words, that where she said you have to sacrifice yourself, which was misrepresented. That's not what she said. But he's going based off that. He thinks that, like, these people are possibly about to sacrifice this child. Like, she wants to come with them. He wants a Padawan. He feels that she is supposed to be his Padawan. So that's where that push and that need to take Osha and bring her back with him comes from.
Then they needed to make that, for me, they needed to make that more clear, if that's the case.
He did say it.
Yeah, so I'm kind of in the middle. I think that I agree with you, Frosty, that, like he said, and it seemed like, okay, the Force is telling me I need to do this. I also think that I do think that they didn't do a good job of explaining or showing. Like, they did a great job of, for the very first time, like, kind of showing you what maybe a Jedi mind trick looks like when you see her in Torbin's head. Like, you get that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think they did a very good job of showcasing that feeling that the Force is giving him, that's telling him that this child in particular, he needs to have as his Padawan. He said it, but again, in the same way that he said it, you have Indara saying, don't conflate your feelings and what you want to do with what the Force wants you to, you know what I mean? With what the Force wants you to do. And I think that that's I think that is entirely what this episode is about, right? The episode is titled Choice. And so everyone here is making a choice of some sort, okay? So Osha is making a choice that she's being given the opportunity to make a choice as a child, right? Other people are saying she's a child, she doesn't get to choose, right? Mother Anastasia makes a choice. I'm their mother. I choose to be a mother over be your leader right now. I'm choosing to let her decide what she wants to do, okay? Osha's being given a choice of, do you want to stay with us or do you want to go and be a Jedi? I want to go and be a Jedi, right? May is given a choice. She chooses. Clearly, we already knew what she wanted, but that choice is solid. But even that choice is kind of taken from her when she's dealing with Mother Coral, and Coral's like, go get mad. Go do it. So that's kind of taken from her. On the Jedi side, right? You have choice kind of taken away from you as a Jedi. You choose to be a Jedi, but you choose to give up certain things as a person, as a human. I wasn't real happy with Torben being like a spoiled brat kind of thing. Like, I just want to go home. Why are we here? I do understand him saying it might help if I knew that what we were doing was important. And I think that's also one of the things about the Jedi, and in this time frame, that is like, if you think about Osha, what Osha's mindset, her thought process about who the Jedi are and what they do and how important it is and how big of a deal, the kinds of things that they do, I want to go be a Jedi, right? If you're Torben, you probably felt the same way, right? But you're like 3 or 4 when you become a Jedi. Somebody is telling you, these are the things that we do. This is what it is. It's big and it's important and whatever. And my man is like, all right, dog, my first assignment, and I'm not sure why I have a metal detector, but I do. And I do need to state my complaint about that. Hey, dog, listen. We're prospecting for the Force
with a metal
detector.
Metal detectors, we got to do better, Disney. We got to step that up. Make it look like something.
I thought it was funny.
Just keep him busy with something. He's annoying us.
Right. You're supposed to be out here feeling the Force. Like, you're supposed to be out here trying to figure out where things are going. Nah, metal detector.
What? I mean, I'm gonna keep it a buck.
It's not really a metal detector. They're tests. They're running tests. They're trying to find why life has
Frosty.
All right.
There's no defending.
Frosty, let me tell you something.
I'm getting a metal detector and I'm carrying it around at every convention and saying, I'm looking for the Force.
And you know what? You're not going to be the only person cosplaying that way.
Nope.
Guarantee it. Guarantee it. I'm going to keep it a buck. That was pretty corny. I didn't like that at all. I was like, what are they looking for? When they said they were looking for a virgins in the Force, I was like, oh, well, that's not going to help.
You don't really seem like you're in tune truly with the Force if you can't really feel it.
That's not going to work at all. But back to Torben. Being like, I want to go to Coruscant. Look.
And do what, young Jedi?
Look.
You can't have
not
fun.
Be here, not be in the woods camping with y'all, eating these swamp rats or whatever we eating. Like, this is not, and it's just like, if you have spent your entire youth eating, I don't know, cafeteria food, standing in those, being in Coruscant, in that Jedi temple, you're doing okay. You know what I mean? And you might be a spoiled brat and, whatever. There is a part of me that can appreciate that there are Jedi Padawan who are second guessing whether or not this is what they want to do, whether or not this is where they want to go. And if they thought that they were on some epic thing that was going to save the universe, or some divine trip that was like, we're about to find this major thing in the Force, and like, they're there, and who knows how long they were there, but nobody told him, here, go look for something. What am I even looking for? You trust this dude to stab children with a thing to check their midichlorians, but you didn't bother to tell him what he's supposed to be looking for on the screen? That is, you know what I'm saying? Like, and in that moment, even Soul was like kind of annoyed. Like, dog, we're looking for virgins. Shut up and eat, dog. Like,
that's why we gave you the metal detector. Like, just go there and sweep for the Force. Like,
he didn't have the metal detector.
Nobody wants to be.
Did.
What did he have? He was taking grass and putting it into like a. He was putting grass in like a paper shredder. I don't listen.
I don't know that was just so Weird.
But again, like I understand him being bored. I understand him being like, this is not what
It's
I
not what I
thought it was
signed up
going to
for.
mean to be a Jedi, to be whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like this ain't it. You know what I mean? Like all the studying I did and all the working and the meditating and what have you. This isn't what I signed up for. I don't think it is. Is this what I signed up for? Nobody
Yes,
told
sir.
me. And then when I got here, still nobody told me. I don't even know what I'm doing here. So like again, like this thing about the Jedi of like kind of keeping secrets and kind of being like knowing in their heads that we're on this giant mission. This is a major thing. My favorite part about it probably is getting this idea of like what a Virgins in the Force means and what it can do. This planet was dead from a hyperspace explosion, which is a callback to an old story. So this planet is supposed to be dead, yet the life is thriving on this planet. So we're here looking for the thing that caused that. Like that's why we're here. It seems like a thing that would have been so easy to say,
But for some reason,
and
they
it
didn't say
seems
it to
like
him.
everybody knew except Torben. And it's just kind of like, bruh, you're a Padawan. Like your job is just to
You
do
don't
what
need
we say.
any of this info. Just follow what we say, and you'll be okay.
So like Indara comes off like the kind of Jedi Master that you have been told about, taught about, and read about. Calm. Let's just do this. This is what we need. Talks to her Padawan and like, hey, calm your mind. We're, this is. And Soldier's like, hey, dog, we're here to find the virgins. Eat, bro. You know what I'm saying? Why you whining? But even in that moment where, like, she says to him, like, hey, kind of like, let me teach my Padawan the way I think is the right way to teach my Padawan. And being like, that's why I have a Padawan. You, sir, do not have a Padawan. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So they tried to kind of layer in this. Give me a Padawan. Like, oh, give me a Padawan. Like, kind of like. But also, Sin, I do feel like Soul's sense of urgency felt out of place.
Definitely.
Right? However, I think it's supposed to. I think it's because he's the only one who saw the children. Like nobody else saw it. And so even in that moment, when Indara's like, children, they gotta go talk to the council. We don't got that kind of time. These babies in trouble. You know what I mean? Like, I also think that there's a thing, even with somebody who is a master, that feels like you okay, sir?
I'm good.
Feels we're supposed to be doing something. We're supposed to be doing something big, right? And waiting for the council, like the council at this point in the High Republic is like, they're so far above where these people are, even as masters, that like, it would be like you right now trying to write to your congressman, but get beyond him to get to the president. You know what I mean? Like, it would be like trying to get to someone who then has to get to somebody to then have somebody get back to you about whether or not you should do something. Soul's like, we don't have time to be waiting on that. We gotta go. We gotta go save the children. If we wait, they might be dead. You didn't see what I saw. And so Indara, against her better judgment, is accepting the fact that she didn't see it. All right, let's go check it out. I'm kind of okay with that, right? am I okay with the breaking and entering? I don't know.
Hey, bro, the fact they climbed the whole side of that jump, like
Well,
to get
he did the first time,
Yeah.
and then
Kidnapping
he did
children.
the second
And
time.
yeah. Kilnaka spliced
Yeah.
into the lift in order to get them in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, that's a big old Star Wars door. What I do appreciate, I guess, is that they didn't just saber that
like
joint open.
jump.
Like, when she said a slice into that joint, that could have been taken a very different way.
Yeah, yeah.
Nah, when I heard them say slice, the immediate thing I was thinking back to the Star Wars games. As soon as I heard that, I
Me
was just
too.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Where's BD1?
right.
Yeah.
Without a, yeah,
Go hack
with
into
no
it. Yeah.
unit. So we had seen them enter before. We didn't know how they got in, right? We also now know who made the noise when the girls were being trained that they had to go check out. It was Soul in there minding their business,
Facts.
right? He walks in and all he sees is her force shove the children down.
Yeah.
He ready to go out there and scrap.
He know he can't win that fight. I better go back and tell somebody. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna win that. So again, it's kind of this misplaced. I need to take care of them. I need to save them. These children are in danger, which I feel like could very easily add to if you're a Jedi without a Padawan who feels like I need to do something about this. Also, we got to keep it a buck. Mother Coral looks pretty evil. When she shows up like, hey, girls, come back inside. You know you're not supposed to be out here, whatever. The look on Soul's face was like, ooh.
Hey, he got closer to that tree, like, ooh.
Hey, listen, the way he tucked back behind, like, oh, I don't want that. Don't see me. Don't see me.
Please don't see me.
Don't see
This
me,
is more-
don't sense me, don't feel me.
This is more trouble
None of
than I
that.
thought.
She's a little, but it falls apart from both sides. Right? Let's talk to the council. Nope, we don't have time for that. Let's just go. Even hearing that the council's like, man, look, don't take them kids away from their family. That's not what we do. We're not doing that. So again, even up to this point, we've been like, the Jedi just be going and taking kids. And even he said it. Soul was like, we don't take kids. Like, they have to want to come, whatever. Even the council was like, nah. And Dara's like, the council said, she's better off with her people. Leave her with her people. Leave them alone. Leave them be. Torben's like, hey, no, I'm trying to go home. And if we don't get these kids,
I'm going to be stuck here eating swamp rats.
Bro, he acts like he's in jail. He acts like he reminded me so much of like somebody from like Saving Private Ryan, who's just out in a war and doesn't want to be there, and all they want to do is go home.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, don't you understand? We found it. All we got to do is steal these kids and we're good. We can go back to Coruscant. Beer, I'm out.
Yeah, on that speeder and took off.
Dog, what? The door's like, man, if you don't go catch him, of all the people to send after this dude.
Yeah.
Soul, go get him. But here's the thing. She trusts Soul.
Very much.
He ain't never gone astray, clearly. She trusts him. She wants it. She's like, go get him. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get the ship. You go get him. I also feel like maybe Count Naga's the only one who can really fly the ship at that point. He's also the one who like had to splice into the door. I feel like he's the
yeah. The mechanic
Let's not take away the fact that like Chewbacca really flies the Millennium Falcon. Let's just keep it what it is.
Yeah.
Like,
he fixes it, he pilots it, everything.
Yeah, say that again, Frosty.
Jedi are trained to fly. They can all fly the ship. Jackie flies
Yeah,
the ship.
but not like Kalnaka. You know what I
Not
mean?
like a not
Like
like a
it just
Wookiee.
felt to me like
Not like
she was kind of like she was like, we don't know what we dealing with. We don't know what we gonna be looking at when we get there. We might have to do some sick maneuvering. We gonna have to let's not Kalnaka. I need you. I'm gonna need you on the ones and twos, buddy. She made a call, right? Your hands are tied. We're in dangerous territory. We got to lose Padawan. What we gonna do? If I'm picking between y'all, who gotta go get? First of all, Jokes, you're the one who ran. I want to go home. That's you, Jokes. Sin. I'm sending you to go get Jokes.
God
Frosty, you
damn
gotta
it,
fly the
Jokes!
ship. You gotta fly the ship. Think about it for a second. Like, think about it for a second. Like, Sin, go get the boy. Frosty, I need you on the ones and twos. We gotta we're gonna go in. We gotta go grab them before they do something dumb. You understand what I'm saying? Now I want y'all to think about this for a second. Who am I trusting to be by my side to stop y'all from doing something dumb? It's Frosty. Frosty, we gotta get on the ship. We got to go. We gotta go catch them. That's what it is. Not even really thinking about the fact that like it's too late because they already been in Torben's mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm honestly thinking he's gonna get there and they're gonna yank him up.
Yeah, I was just thinking immediate, just take him over.
Bro, listen.
Not you. Him.
So let's talk about this for a second.
Hey.
Okay. So and Torben have infiltrated the witch's base.
Mm-hmm.
Your fault, Jokes, that we infiltrated.
Cool.
Facts.
Got a good workout.
And they are ready for war against the wishes of the leader.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. Even when they walk in, Soul's like, hold tight. Which I feel like you might be, Sin. Jokes. Hold on. Hold on. It's a little tricky. Hold on real quick.
How did you lure me to go with you, Jokes? Once we got there, what did you say to me to be like? I bet let's go inside.
The kids.
You think that's gonna get Sin
It would have
inside the
been like
door?
would have been like F them kids. For real. Matter of fact, Sin would have been like, climb that wall. Not me.
No.
That wall. You on your own, Jokes.
No, they got Rhea captive. I bet. Let's go.
Yeah, there it is. Mother Coral ready for war. We have seen that short interaction with Osha and May, that like a good portion of that Mother Coral is like behind that, right? She's like literally attacking May. Block this. It's time to fight. You want to stop your sister? Good. Go stop her. This how we're gonna do it. You better get mad. Go, you know what I mean? She starts a fire. Fire was an accident.
I hated it.
The way it spread, it wasn't you hated this in?
I hated it so much.
Why'd you hate it?
It felt stupid. It felt wrong just how that played out. She's so happy to burn her up in 1 minute, and then she snaps back to it after she already starts it. Like, I get it. It felt wrong in the moment. Like, maybe they didn't sell it properly or whatever, but like it just felt.
She was just trying to burn the journal. She wasn't expecting it to suddenly be this ravenous fire that has essentially trapped her sister inside this room. She's trying to get her sister to stay.
She's trying to get her sister to stay. That's what I was about to say. She wasn't trying to kill her. She was like, "Listen, I'm gonna lock you in this
I mean,
room."
she did say, "I will kill you. I'll kill you before I let you leave."
I feel like we've all said that to her, but I feel like it wasn't
She tried.
unintentionally though.
Nah, I mean,
it was intentional till she started.
It's one of those things where, like, come on, Sam, you've had a moment where you've gone too far. You got a brother. Y'all done been in a scuffle or two.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know you done something, and you meant it when you did it, and then when you realize, don't tell mom, I was just playing. When that it hasn't happened, that's basically what that was. It was like I burn your whole book up. She set that joint on fire. I was like, ooh, this paper burned fast. Paper burned real fast. I don't know what kind of ink you was using, but this
highly flammable.
Was it
yeah, like, you know, look, here's the thing. I think what they did that I feel like is maybe there's a cut or something. They make her look so evil and so full of intent when she's like staring at the fire, holding the book, like the look on her face. We've been sold that for like 6 episodes now. You know what I mean? Of like, yo, she was like really ready. Like, even in my head, I'm like, I feel like somebody was in her head and made her do that. You know what I mean? And so maybe that was the case, and they just didn't show that somehow that can't. I do feel that. Yeah, I feel what you're talking about.
It's something that just it felt off and so wrong when I saw the way they played that. I'm like, that just
Mother
falling flat.
But they had a couple more episodes left.
Make her stay, like, essentially use what you can, like, keep your sister here. So she's going in there with this burning rage. Like, mom said I gotta keep Osha here.
Right. I mean, and you're not wrong. You know what I mean about that, Frosty. I do think that there is that, right? That like, you want to keep her here? Good. Get mad. Go in there and don't let her leave, right? And she doesn't, in so many words, say, leave it to us, though. Like, leave it really to us, right? Because I do honestly believe, right, as a parent, go in that room, stay with your sister. I'll be right there, and I'm gonna lock y'all in there. I'm locking the door behind you. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. Ain't going nowhere. If I'm not letting anybody in here, you're leaving this joint over my dead body. You understand what I'm saying? But I don't know that I would have been like, whatever it takes. Don't you let your sister go. Where's she going? You know what I mean? Like, the Jedi aren't there. They're not even coming to pick her up. This is just like a go do. You know what I mean? So yeah, they pushed her, and I'm not. Again, I feel you, Sin. Like, I do think that something got cut, or maybe we missed something in translation there. When Soul and Torben, I'm gonna call it the arena, because that area they're in feels like an arena. Like, it just like with the whole like all the people above the top, like this look like Gladiator.
Look and watch, yeah.
They got their arrows drawn. It's going down, and Soul attempts to prevent it from escalating.
Correct.
Mother Anastasia shows up, and the way she's talking does make it sound like y'all ain't gonna make it out of here.
That threat.
You Jedi and your good intentions are going to be the end. Like, it's going to destroy you all. She's right. Right? But then she turns into a demon. I don't know what to tell you. Like, she turned into a demon.
Eyes turn black, start turning to dust. Like, ooh, I don't.
Here's the thing. What was she doing?
My assumption was that she was getting. It seemed like I'm going to hypothesize like that is a mode of transportation or whatever. That they'll let them get low. I feel like she was gonna go dust it, grab May, and dip and take her. I feel like that was what it was kind of do. But when you see that unfold in front of you, it looks a little hostile to me.
If you're still under the impression that one, she's not going to let you take the girls, and two, that the girls are in danger,
Mm-hmm.
and then she says those words to you, you Jedi are, you know what I mean? Like, your good intentions are going to be the end of you. Like, you know what I mean? Whatever, you know what I mean? In that moment. And then she does that. And you look over, and the child is also turning into dust.
Who you believe to be the other one that you feel is meant to be your Padawan.
Right. Which made that she runs in the room. OSHA, no dog. Check the mark.
Right.
OSHA, which also maybe clears up being able to confuse them as adults later on, I guess. Now you feel like you have this need to protect this child, and you think that this person who is their mother but isn't their mother, like, you don't know, you know, you have this information about their M counts. We're not, midichlorians is a curse word. We don't say that. The M counts set Torben off. They don't just have high M counts. They're exactly the same. Not the same like twins. The same like the same.
Yeah.
Like, they're the same person. This is it. This is a virgins. This ain't no normal. We need to go get them. Right? Which, to be honest, it does make me wonder how the Jedi Council would have reacted if they had told them that. If they had given them that information. Right? Oh, we got to get down there. Right? Could have been, we need to study this, understand it, figure out what it means, try to understand how it works, blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't mean that they weren't going to completely ruin the way of life for that coven. It doesn't necessarily mean they were going to take the kids. But it does make me wonder, right? Had it gone ever so slightly differently, butterfly effect, whether or not the council would have been like, you found it? It's a who? They're alive? Oh, we need to come see what's up. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure that's the thing. And we'd be telling a completely different story. And maybe we will tell that story at some point. Listen. Soul stabbed Mother Anastasia in the gut with a lightsaber in front of May. In front of all of them. And it's about as terrible a thing you could do. It really doesn't. And again, in the moment, Son, if it was you, what would you have done?
If I was Soul, I'd have ran her through.
Right. Jokes, what would you have done?
Agreed.
Frosty?
I'm not a Jedi.
That's not the point. If you were Soul and you were in that situation, what would you have done?
I probably would have seen what she was doing. I'm intrigued
and
on this
you probably
power.
would be dead.
You don't know that.
That to me feels like you're thinking like Frosty and not like Soul. Which is a thing that maybe you can't help do. But I think if I saw it, take Soul out of it. Take Jedi out of it. You're outside your house. And you believe this parent is going to harm this child.
I thought you were asking me as Frosty as Soul.
Well, I am, but I'm asking you as Soul. Like, if you're
Soul, then sure. If I'm worried about the child, then yeah, I'm running her through.
You're running her through. I don't know that Soul made the wrong decision. We know Soul made the wrong decision, but like, I don't know that in that moment.
Yeah, because the Jedi's have just been threatened by her, and with everything going around, they got the arrows pointed down on them. They're threatening them and all that type of stuff. Like,
you're in a very precarious situation here, right? And under the circumstances, I'm gonna say I would have done what Soul did, even from their own mother. I probably would have ran her through. Because I don't know how you stop that. Like, I don't even know. Like, to be honest with you, I'm not sure Soul knew that was going to work. Because she was dust.
Right.
I didn't know if that
I
was
was
going to work.
shocked that it worked.
Me too. I was thinking in
It was
sorry,
gonna be
the
too
anime,
late.
but I was thinking in One Piece terms, like somebody using a Logia fruit. Like that's not going to work when
If
somebody
it were
separates
me,
like
if
that.
it had been me, I would have been like force bubbling around her, like as opposed to just straight up like running her through. Like, oh, hang on, I don't know what this is.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
Least lethal version is I'm just gonna put you in a bubble.
and I, you know what? And here's the thing. I don't disagree. I do feel like that's hindsight. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like in hindsight, you can say, rather
Could've
than
used the
kill
bubble.
her, let me, you know what I mean? Let me try to put her in a bubble. But I also think, because again, you're on edge. You're like, you're reaching for your lightsaber, but you're trying not to pull your lightsaber. But you understand that you have been threatened. You are in a situation where you are highly outnumbered and they are threatening and they're not going to be nice about it. They're
And
going to kill you.
But
it looks like she's just whipping out an ultimate move on you that you've never seen before.
Yeah.
But also the Jedi are trained, they're taught that you're not supposed to attack an unarmed person. Like that's
That
She
wasn't looking
looked
very
armed to me.
And so here's the
I don't
thing.
know that it is.
And
It's not a weapon.
But while I agree with you, what I don't think Jedi are taught is what to do in a situation where an unarmed person might be getting ready to harm a child or someone you feel like you should be protecting, right? So, like, at some point, I think no matter who you are, like if you're a police officer, if you're whatever, like there are things they train you for and things they train you to do. And there are always going to be situations where your training kicks in. The training that kicked in was how to defend myself. Was like, what do I do to protect this child, right, under the circumstances? Because in everything that I've seen, it's you should not, if a person is unarmed and that person is attacking you, you don't attack them, right? You move, you defend, you deflect, you whatever. How do you deflect dust? How do you know what I mean? So like in your head, when you go through in that split second, all of the things you've been trained to do, whether they're force, whether they're holding something in place, whether they're, whatever. Also, Soul's not that strong in the force in terms of like physical force, because he totally failed at that bridge thing. So I just want to say that, like, you also have to think about people thinking in terms of what they know they're good at and what they are not, right? And so maybe in terms of being a force user or being in tune with physical use of the force, that's not his go-to. And so he went to,
here's them hands.
you know what I mean? He went to what he knows, right? Which, again, even in the fight that we have seen him in, compared to all the rest of the Jedi, he was the only one besides Jackie who was able in some manner to hold his own, right? In that moment. Now, again, he was fighting more with emotion than fighting with the, you know what I mean? But I also have to assume that with Jackie being his Padawan, their training is a little more alike. And so maybe he just is a little more in tune with that side of, you know what I mean? Like, we know that there are Jedi who are more in tune with the Force, more in tune with the, like, we know that, that's part of what it is. So maybe that's what it is. I don't think he made the wrong decision in the moment. When it all goes to hell after that, and Torben's like, oh, okay, let me get my swashbuckle on, right? And even in that moment, look, in all the Jedi stuff I've seen, if people are shooting at you, you firing, you using that, you right back at them. You hitting them, you taking them out, right? He's not.
No.
He's just knocking it down, defending. That's it, right? Not terrible. But we need to talk about Mother Coral. Where did she go? See, because when they do it, it makes it seem like she went into Kalnaka. She disappears. Oh, you shouldn't have did that. You better beware. Oh no, not him. And she's still talking to them. She's in their heads, but she's nowhere to be seen. And then they show you that Kalnaka is being controlled by the entire rest of the coven, which to me also says he's strong.
Like, oh yeah, if they needed all of them,
Yeah.
It takes all of them to get in his head and go to war, right? She's nowhere to be found. She could very easily be our master.
Out there.
Could be.
Oh, she's out there, dog. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah,
she's out there. We don't have a body. We never saw. Now we know what happened to the rest of them. They weren't slaughtered.
Yeah, I said that threw me off. Well, you know what? All right, when it happened and she gets Kalnaka or whatever out of it, and all the witches just pass out. I said, oh, okay. So they're all knocked out. Okay, cool. Then as the episode goes on, and it gets the body like they're dead. I'm like,
they're dead.
I'm like, hold up, was that what just killed him right now? Like her doing that? Because if so, stupid.
So here's what I think. I think that in some manner, whatever it takes for them to do that, their souls, from a Force standpoint, are intertwined with his. And whatever it is that she had to do to like force them out didn't allow them to go back into their own bodies. They out there somewhere, whatever, but it didn't allow them to go back into their own selves, or they're all in there doing whatever they're doing with him. So maybe when you force them out, it's like, I don't even know what body I'm supposed to be in or whatever. Right? So them maybe being separated from that, being forced out, however it was that she felt like she had to do it, clearly it still resides within Kalnaka, because we talked about how Slim was like writing all over the cave walls and felt,
and that even never came back. Yeah, just lives out in the middle of nowhere.
So the idea that like they are still alive.
Some history behind that.
Say again.
There's some history to why he essentially exiled himself.
They do have a comic book on it, but I'm unfamiliar. Please share.
So in Wookiee culture, it's called a mad claw. They don't use their claws for weapons. They're only used for productive and helpful purposes. And if somebody ever used it against another being, they were deemed a mad claw and exiled from their village. So Kalnaka, essentially, he attacked Torben with his claws, despite the fact that he was under the influence of the witches. He still used them against another person, so he exiled himself.
He had to do it. I mean,
okay,
I get it. He was definitely crushing my man's head with his paw.
Yeah.
My man was in. He did put the paws on him too.
Literally. Good one.
Extra points for you, jokes. Yeah. So where'd Coral go?
Out there somewhere.
Yeah.
She's still out there, and she might be the one behind it all.
She was already
angry,
pushing May, telling May. She already has her own idea, and again, from her perspective of what happened, like what that is, right?
Yeah.
From May's perspective, you know what that is. Though I have to imagine that this story, as it is being told to May. So May is for the first time getting this, like, I felt a connection to your sister. I felt like I was supposed to be teaching her, but they're the same person. Yeah, technically. Somehow. Again, we still don't have what a real explanation is, like what that really means. We don't actually know, right? So being told by Sith Teeth, as I've heard him called because of his mask, that I want the power too. Okay, what does that mean? right? What does that actually mean? How does that help you, right? And like we've seen it used in the 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 sequel trilogy as a dyad in order to heal Palpatine, bring him back. We are searching for that eternal life, that live forever kind of thing. If he's as old as he seems to be, I was a Jedi a long, long, long time ago. Maybe you already figured some of that out. But we don't know where it came from. What we do know is that Mother Anastasia created them. Somehow she knew how to manipulate the Force, either to cause a vergence or found the vergence and was able to use that to manipulate it into.
That's what's implied by something that Anastasia says. She says they're not the virgins.
So the vergence was there.
Yeah.
Because it also
it might have been somebody alludes to the kids aren't the virgins. I can't remember who exactly it was.
Yeah, that they may have been created by the vergence.
Yeah.
But that the vergence started there. It also made it sound like maybe their existence helped to propagate life on the planet, right? Like, because again, when they walk in and Dara says to them, we were under the impression that there was no life here.
Right.
And Anastasia's response to that is, oh, so the all-knowing Jedi weren't in tune with their surroundings? Didn't know what was going on around them? Well, we knew something was up. That's why we're here with the metal detectors.
Right.
And they should have brought their metal detectors there and just aimed them directly at them.
Here going off.
How come? That's what I'm saying. Like, if you even thought there was a possibility that these children were the virgins or a cause of it or whatever,
why didn't they metal detect them? Just pick that metal. Hey, look, give me your forehead.
I don't think the metal detector was detecting the virgins.
What do you think it was detecting, Frosty?
Metal.
Yeah. Different substances, like what substances have become abundant on this planet? Where might they find them in other parts of the planet? Do they coalesce more in one spot? Like
that tree that the children were, because that was what Soul seemed to see first to me.
Yeah, definitely.
As he's walking through, he sees the tree and was like, hold on.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's not normal. And then he happens to see, oh,
cheering.
Hey, we're not alone.
Like
he was scared at first. Hey, we not alone out here.
He did say it like it was like they were like they were ghosts. Like they like, Indar, can you hear me? We are not alone out here. There are alien life forms on this planet. You know, jokes. There's one episode left. Where are we going?
I really don't know.
That's the answer. Hold on. You don't have to say anything else. Where are we going? This season is supposed to have like a definitive end. Like this is supposed to be a one
and done. Yeah, a one and done. I don't see how. I don't see how a one and done. I would think leave to a cliffhanger and close it out somehow with a season 2 and that be the end. But I have no clue right now of where it's going at this point. Especially probably 45 minutes max next episode, probably like 41 minutes for the last episode or something like that to tie all this up. You got me.
Frosty. Is Soul gonna actually be the first Knight of Ren?
Ooh, I haven't heard that one.
I can't do this Jedi thing anymore. Everybody else around me is dead. I made some mistakes. Leaning Force positive this way versus dark this way. Neither one of these girls is actually really bad.
Do you think he pulls almost like like an Ahsoka?
Maybe. Like,
Okay.
I'm asking because I don't
I
know
don't
where this
know.
goes.
Yeah, I don't know that he would go Ren. He might go like as a rogue Jedi, like a gray Jedi. I don't know that
He
he would
could be
necessarily be Ren.
okay.
I can see Great
Where
Jedi.
does what you say, Sin?
I said I can see Great Jedi.
All right. Let's play a game. Let's play a game. Jokes.
Mm-hmm.
May and Osha. Do they both survive the series?
I don't think so.
Okay. At least one of them dies?
I think at least one of them. I think at least one of them.
Okay. Sin.
Mhm.
Let's play a game.
Okay.
Do May and Osha become one being at the end of this season?
Yeah.
Name May Osha. I mean,
Sure.
whatever.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Oh, that man said we gotta come up with fusion names
Okay.
out here.
May and Osha become one. Interesting. Frosty.
Mhm.
Does Soul die?
Yes.
Soul doesn't survive. Okay. Jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Does Darth Teeth die? Chimeras just
If
kind of out there leading,
if
training, wanting a Padawan.
that's what, the only way I say if he actually gets the Padawan that he wants, with the whole Sith thing, like it's. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say he's gonna live.
Okay. Sin.
Yeah.
This show is called The Acolyte.
Yeah.
Who is the Acolyte?
It's gonna be Mayosha when they come
Mm-hmm.
together.
Mayosha. Okay. Okay. Somehow they're gonna come together. They will be the Acolyte.
Yeah.
Frosty, based on Sin's answer, who are they the Acolyte to?
Coral.
Oh, now we're getting good. Jokes.
Yo.
Does Mother Coral show up in the last episode?
Yes.
Sin.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like this game? I'm having a good time. Because again, this is the thing. This is my favorite thing about this show.
Because I'm picking my answers for what they're saying too. Right?
Sure.
I agree with that.
But like, I don't know where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what we're attempting to achieve. And in any other Star Wars series, it's like, yeah, but clearly they have to get here.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have that here. Right? So Sin,
Mm-hmm.
Joke says Mother Coral shows up. Is she the master?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Frosty, is there a Sith Lord we have not been introduced to that is going to show up in the last episode?
I've read interviews too, so like I get a little bit more information. The the writer of the show, the creator, Leslie Headland, she is very familiar with Darth Plagueis and wants to tell that story. So I don't know if it's going to be him popping into this one, but it didn't mention anything about Tenebris. So maybe we could get a Tenebris.
Jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of Darth Tenebris?
Nope.
Okay. Good
Plagueis?
answer.
Yes. Tenebris?
Tenebris?
Nope.
No.
I'm intrigued though.
Yeah.
How many more? Then how many more questions do you think I can come up with before we shut this down?
You? Oh,
I'm like, how long are we going for?
Easy 10. Easy 10.
Sin, my real question for you is your score for this episode still a 5?
Yes.
Okay.
I tried.
Okay. You did.
It's good, Frosty. I appreciate the attempt.
What is the likelihood, Sin, that episode 8 is going to save this show for you?
It's gonna be a tough sell. It's gonna be a tough sell. But I'll keep hope alive. As long as they put the right things in place and tie up these certain maybe loose ends, as a whole package, it could probably put it just over for me.
Frosty.
Mm-hmm.
Are May and Osha going to fight each other?
I think there is I think it's highly likely that they will end up fighting each other.
Jokes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just having a good time now. Are May and Osha going to pass lightsabers to each other through the Force without ever coming together?
Lightsaber, no, but maybe something.
Why not a lightsaber? We've seen it happen.
Yes, we've seen it happen, but I don't know why they would be actually sending right now. I don't see one saving the other, kind of. So unless it's like it's supposed to be like a memento or something, but I don't see them sending a lightsaber to each other though.
Sin.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if it's possible, but I want you to tell me whether or not Mother Coral is tied to the Night Sisters in some way. Frosty is like, I don't want to answer this. Feel free when he gets done.
Yeah, why not? Sure.
Frosty?
Yeah.
They are not. Leslie Headland has come out and said that they are not actually Night Sisters. They're their own type of coven and practice their own type. So Night Sisters practice magic. Mm-hmm. This coven practices a combination of the Force, magic, and there was something else. But so they are not Night Sisters.
I mean, I know that they are not Night Sisters.
She wrote this, and we're all confused as it is anyway. So I'll wait for the next episode to find out for myself.
Find out on the next episode.
Is it honestly impossible to think that even though they're not Night Sisters, that is true and definitive, but they don't exist anymore?
Correct.
Outside of Coral, they don't exist. They have been wiped out. So that means that the remaining members of this coven are Mother Coral, May, and Osha. That's it. And
that we know.
Let's not forget, right, that May did complete the ascension to promise to live on and raise up the coven in the death of Mother Anastasia. And Osha did not. So maybe that coven continues in some way. Well, Mother Coral might be like, hey, dog, I'm not with it. I'm out. I want to do my own thing. She also seemed like maybe capable in ways that other witches, we'll call them within the coven, maybe weren't as adept, if you will. Again, I'm just throwing things out there directly at the wall because any of it could, look, Leslie Headley can say whatever she wants. But the truth of the matter is, this is Disney. And they lie. They put stuff in trailers that isn't really in the movie. They they will say things and just, like you can't just take that and be like, well, she said it. I know.
Yeah.
However,
but just like how you worded it, like, aren't they dead? So you can't technically be it, but you can still be tied to it in some other type of way, just not being so technical about it and your wording around how you say something.
Again, where did she go? She been there on the planet for 16 years?
Probably. When we get there next week,
I'm thinking probably not. I don't even know. Again, like in my head, I'm like, they're probably going back to Brendock. Right? Because remember that Soul and May took off. But also, we had an entire team of Jedi that just showed up and were investigating where they were, trying to see what's up with Count Naka. We got to prepare these bodies for a proper burial. But we also have to hide what happened.
Yeah.
We have to prepare these bodies for the proper burial they're supposed to get as Jedi, but we also cannot tell the High Council that these folks were killed by a lightsaber. We got secrets, right? And we watch them do that to protect each other, but also, again, the lying and the manipulation and the things that Jedi are supposed to do, they're not doing and whatever, and literally having Indara be like, even at the end when Soul was like, we gotta tell the council. Like, I done messed up, dog. Like, we gotta tell the council. And Indara was like, no, you would do that to her after everything we put her through. If we tell the council now, what do you think they're going to do to her? We can't do that to her. So they broke the vow. They had already broken their vow, right? But they broke the vow again to protect someone. He broke the rules of like engagement, fighting and whatever to protect a child. You took her mother, her coven, and her home. Now you want to go tell? Now you want to tell the council? You can't do that. And she cried. She cried, telling him, "Yeah, just tell her what you need to tell her." And she's not supposed to get emotional. She's not allowed to have that, to feel that, right? Still, she said to May, "You, what are you doing here?" She knows that wasn't Osha. Which also tells me somehow she knew that May was alive. But you know what? Dog, witness protection. We're not going to find that out. We're not getting that. I did find out that they did tell us what happened with witness protection. I don't know if y'all know that.
Yeah.
It was Ralph Boner. Terrible. Anyway, I am highly intrigued about what they're going to do with this last episode and how it's going to round out this show. It will absolutely have an impeccable effect on what I think of the whole thing.
Agreed.
Where they take it, how they end it. Jokes, still at a 7?
Still at a 7.
Okay. We have a 5. We have a 7. We have an 11. Frosty. Yeah, I think I'm still at a 7. We'll see what happens next episode. Last episode.
Yeah.
The final go round.
Stick the
Highly
landing.
intrigued. Highly intrigued. We may have to cut weekly short next week.
Ooh.
We're not.
So I gotta get right to it.
Yeah.
Answers.
We'll see how it goes. Frosty, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Jokes, thanks for joining us. We've missed you. It's been a while since you've been able to do this with us.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll be there with us next week.
I'm hoping I can be for the last one.
We'll figure it out. This has been your Spoiler Boys for episode 7 of The Acolyte, titled Choice. Thank you for choosing to listen and to watch along. See y'all next week. We're out. Toodles and loose.
Loading snacks.